So, in my final topic here, and I know I kind of made this kind of short within 30 minutes here or so, but I'll kind of work on this too a little bit as well, is the predator versus prey relationship. This is a touchy one. There's a lot of states that are reintroducing wolves into the population, which within the landscape, especially out in Yellowstone, I'm going to reference that, for instance. The wolves were placed there due to the high density of elk, and it has definitely changed the landscape drastically. And I'm not saying predators are a bad thing. They have their place in the ecosystem. God created all these animals for a reason. So we have to manage all these species of wildlife and their habitat for everybody to enjoy and understand how the ecosystem works. But there's a couple different methods that you can do to help reduce the population. You're not gonna totally get rid of, especially coyotes. I know coyotes are a huge deal, especially in the South, but really the population has really skyrocketed in the Northeast too as well. For instance, when I was a kid and when I was starting out hunting, it was very rare that we ever saw a coyote. We would hear them every once in a while, but after 16 years, I'm 28 years old. I have seen so many coyotes over the years. It is just unreal. And once you guys start implementing all these different habitat features and food sources and water sources and all these cover sources on your property, and you're hunting it to the best of your ability, once you start stacking up more animals on your property and the prey population goes up, guess what's going to follow? Excuse me there. Predators are going to follow. It's inevitable. It's kind of funny for reference, but it's like a bunch of kids going after the ice cream truck when a guy stops somewhere in town. They're flocking right to it. So what I've really taken notice too over the years, me and my wife walking around with my dad and my brother and a couple other people went shed hunting a couple years ago, and we found two longbeards, two toms that were dead laying underneath some brush, and I knew those were bobcat kills. So once you guys start seeing stuff like that, you start seeing fawn remains, you start seeing turkeys being piled up in brush, or feathers ripped out all over the place, or eggs rolled out onto a logging road or a path and they're all crushed up, and you see coon tracks all over in the mud, and you start seeing a lot of coyote and bobcat sign. Get your trail cameras out there. Take good inventory of all your species. Trail cameras are the best thing that you can possibly use as a management tool on the property once you implement everything that I've been talking about. So a good predator management situation may come up on the property. Some properties don't need it and some do. It honestly depends on the fluctuation of prey on your property and how the predators are associating with that property, and is there kills, isn't there kills. Honestly, if you're seeing high densities of coyote within groups or whatnot, then it's time to start implementing a trapping control program on the property. And you can't just do it 1 year, wait 3 years and do it again. It has to be a yearly thing to keep back the animals on your property. Because we all are hunters and we all want to manage land, so we want to see prey populations skyrocket from our efforts. So what a lot of you guys can do is obviously trapping, getting traps. My favorite two traps to use. Me and my wife are big time trappers, and I do it literally for the ecosystem and whatnot. And controlling predator populations. You don't have near the trappers like you do today, like you did 20, 30 years ago. So obviously there's definitely a higher population of predators in the ecosystem now. So it's in our duty, in my opinion, to set back that population of animals so that we can promote, good fawn recruitment and good nest production from our turkeys and our grouse and our other ground nesting birds. So obviously, one of my favorite traps that I like to use is the Duke 175 trap. It's obviously made by the Duke Trap Company. It's a trap that's very universal, that you can pretty much use it from coyotes the whole way down to raccoon and fox. Very versatile trap. It's a smaller trap, but it definitely has the strength to take care of those coyotes. And another trap that I like to use too as well with predator management is the Minnesota brand MB550. And I get some of the ones that are just the regular jaw or the offset jaw. The offset jaw on those traps is to help reduce the tension on the animal's pad. Obviously, we want to be humane with all of our practices on predators too. You may not like them, and some of the predators I don't like at all, and I hate seeing them run around because it really disturbs our deer hunting a lot of times. But we want to be good stewards of the land, and we want to practice it in the right way, and we want to be professionals about it. So do the right thing. Have your gear done upright so that the animal isn't hurt. And obviously, there's lots of guys that do tests with the traps. They put their hands right in the jaws and they're fine. With everything that's going on today, trapping is definitely more frowned upon than it has been lately, but it's because of guys not having their equipment correctly put together and knowing how to trap correctly to ensure the animal's welfare. So that's pretty much all the topics that I have on the basic 101 land management. So I'm going to give it to you guys out there on